From the Keith Vincent K.O. Studios in Patterson, New Jersey, Green Hour Media proudly presents Is This Real? Tonight, Heaven's Gate, religion or cult? And now your host, JC3.
Who wants better sex? And who wants better sex starting now? The best way to get started is go to adamandeve.com.
Adam and Eve is offering 50% off just any item.
But that's not all. When you select your one item, you will also get 3 bonus items. That includes a gift for him, a special gift for her, and a gift you'll both like.
Plus 6 free movies for your viewing pleasure and free shipping.
There is discreet shipping as your privacy is priority. Plus 100% free shipping on your entire order.
Doesn't matter how much you spend or what you buy, it will all be packaged and sent discreetly for free.
Don't wait. Better sex is just one click away.
That's 50% off one item, 3 free gifts, 6 free movies, and free shipping.
Bring more pleasure and satisfaction to your bedroom.
Just go to adamandeve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy or anything you desire.
Just enter code QUESTION at checkout.
That's question, QUESTION at adamandeve.com.
This exclusive offer is specific to this podcast only. So be sure at checkout you punch in the code QUESTION. That is QUESTION at checkout. And get your 50% off one item, 10 free gifts, and free shipping. Remember, use code QUESTION. Also remember to listen to Is This Real every Sunday at 8 o'clock with new episodes starting July 16th. Remember, everybody, question everything and put that question at the end of your checkout at adamandeve.com. Welcome, everybody, to another fantastic episode of Is This Real?
Is this real?
Tonight's episode, as you heard Big Joe say, we are back to talking about cults, and we're talking about the Heaven's Gate cult, or religion. Who knows? We're going to figure it out tonight now, aren't we?
The endo.
So, in the booth tonight, we have Big Joe. Big Joe, say hello.
Hello, everybody.
We have Pope Tony. Pope Tony, say hello.
I'm the Pope.
And we have the Lord Roadblock. Lord Roadblock, thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody?
So, tonight's episode, like I said, we're talking about Heaven's Gates. So, what do we know about this cult, and how did it get started?
I became a fucking expert on this stupid shit this afternoon. It is interesting. It is weird. There's so many times where I had to like back away from my computer and just stare off into the distance and be like, what the fuck?
Okay, before we get into the history, go on. You wanted to say something, Dad?
No, go ahead.
All right, before we get into the history, because that's what we're going to do. It's going to be history, the beliefs, and then our discussion at the end.
Sure.
So, when did you hear about this when it first came out? Dad?
Actually, I heard about it the night of the suicides.
So we don't have to
It was
worry
a really
about
big
that.
deal because it was
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
you know what? Everybody knows about Heaven's Gate, and
I didn't.
we're not breaking news here.
I didn't know shit.
I just think before you go into anything, I think everybody take a look around, our brand new mic stands.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
The management sprung for new microphone stands here.
Is this a plug? Did I pay you for this shit?
No,
Yeah,
well,
seriously.
I just want everybody to know that
We're not
there-
sponsored by Amazon.
no more arms. And I got to be honest with you, without West here, I don't get that occasional puff of smoke creeping by. So I hope I get through this one.
You're gonna be fine.
You will.
That's
All
what
right.
he misses, the puff of smoke.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you? If you had
Every
nothing
once in a while,
else
the only thing you can count on. Nothing else made sense. And then,
All right, so the Heaven's Gate, it's one of the things that when I was learning about it, you know how I learned about it? I watched the How to Be a Cult Leader on Netflix, that documentary, and I got to this episode, and I went, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Because when they started talking about what their beliefs are and how this was founded, that's it's just random pops of, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
That doesn't make sense. Oh, never mind. Wait.
That's
Nope.
it was an entire 50 minutes of just me staring appalled at
Mhm.
this episode.
I mean, they made news in 1997, right? 97 is when that happened. The mass
something
suicide.
like that.
So like anytime you find 40 people belly up wearing Nikes, all dressed the same with the same haircuts, you're gonna
Not
scratch.
sponsored, by the way.
Yeah, you're gonna want to scratch your head and go, "This is peculiar. Let's figure this out." And then when I started doing my homework and I found that this shit started back in 1972, like that's where the roots are. I'm like, it took you 25 years to come to that decision?
Can we talk about real quick the founder? His name is Marshall H. Applewhite.
Well, there's two founders. Got to be not.
No, I understand that, but
accurate.
that name alone.
Yes, Marshall
Marshall
Applewhite.
H. Applewhite.
He was a music.
When you hear that, what do you
professor.
think? First random thoughts. Marshall H. Applewhite.
Folk
He
singer.
bakes bread.
What?
He owns a bread baking company. That's what it sounds like.
What about you, Joshua?
I kind of have to agree with that.
For me, I'm like, I hear folk singer. Like, welcome to the stage, Marshall Applewhite and the Good Feels Band. And he's just down there with a banjo.
For me, I hear preppy Yale bitch. That's what I hear.
Oh, yeah, okay. Like,
My
waspy.
name is Marshall H. Applewhite. That's what I hear.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah,
where you
I
get
can see that.
And then his partner, Bonnie Nettles. That sounds like a folk singer.
Yes.
That sounds like a chick that's shoveling shit at 6 a.m. down in Alabama somewhere. That's what
very
that sounds.
specific.
That's a very, very specific.
Well, it sounds like somebody that's born on a fucking bayou or something like that.
Well, she was from
I
Texas.
have a question. Do you know that from experience?
It's
no,
like you just
but-
yelled at somebody passing
What was
out,
it- what was it?
Alabama.
What was her name?
Bonnie Nettles.
Bonnie Nettles.
Bonnie Nettles. That don't sound like somebody that'd be like, married
Well,
to
see,
Billy Bob
that's-
Joe Ray and down on, somewhere in
Bonnie
bayou.
Nettles sounds more like a Georgian name to me.
All right,
than
same shit.
Alabama.
Georgia,
well,
Alabama, what's the
She's from
difference?
Texas.
Bonnie Lou Nettles. Yeah, that is.
That is a-
Right,
Bonnie-
Josh? I mean, you have that. I don't have my computer.
that
And her
Southern-
husband, Billy Ray Joe Bob.
But that southern drop, Bonnie Nettles,
Yeah.
that type of thing.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's not Alabama. That's Georgian.
Whatever. It's going to be
Oh,
Texas.
there's a big difference between Georgia and Alabama. You're right.
Let me
Okay.
put it like
There
this.
is.
She's used the N-word many times in her life.
No?
Like, I'm pretty sure she knitted into a quilt. Like, that's all I'm saying.
All right, Anthony, let's talk about the history.
All right, so Marshall, son of a preacher, studied biblical prophecies. That was like his thing in the 70s. He was a college professor who got dismissed because he was hanging out and living with a male. And they think that
The horror.
I know. They think that there was something happening. They're like, we need to let you go because of your bachelor behavior. And he's like, fuck you people.
He was definitely.
We don't know that for sure.
Oh, okay.
We don't know that for sure. But in 1972, he met Bonnie Nettles. She was a 44-year-old nurse who was interested in theology and biblical prophecy. And Applewhite said that he felt that he had known Nettle for a long time and concluded that he had met her in a past life.
I also heard that Bonnie Ray Nettles was actually
Is her middle name Red?
No, it's
She-
Lou.
No, it's Lou.
Lou Ray, whatever. She was actually into
Something
mysticism.
She was.
and stuff like that.
was in
She
love.
was. She told him that their meeting had been known to her. She knew that this was going to happen and that it was foretold to her by extraterrestrials and persuaded him that he had a divine assignment. She said to him that aliens told me we would meet and that you were on a mission from God.
So basically,
Same as the Blues Brothers.
And
Exactly.
he felt like they were soulmates.
Yes, exactly.
so wouldn't you consider that to be grooming?
No, I consider it to be stupid.
Okay.
So
you
they,
can't really call it grooming when you're that old. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
So they started studying different ways of different religions. They studied the life of St. Francis of Assisi. They read works by Helena Blavatsky.
Do you want to know one more thing that I'm reading
Go ahead,
also?
make it quick.
Apparently, they both became convinced that they were the two end time witnesses mentioned in Revelation.
In the book of Revelation? Yeah, I was going to get to that.
Did
Good,
anybody ask them why they were convinced?
Yeah. No, I have that answer.
Oh,
Let me-
I'm sorry.
Let's
I'm
get there. Don't get ahead of me now.
I'm not. I'm trying.
So they read a lot of theology from different religions, and they read a lot of science fictions, particularly by Arthur C. Clarke. So they decided that they were chosen to fulfill the biblical prophecies, and that they had been given a higher level mind than other people. They decided that they were the two people as described in the book of Revelation, which we're going to discuss in our season finale this season.
We are, yes.
Particularly Revelations chapter 1, verses 1 through 19. I'm not going to read that now, but whatever. And they visited churches and they started talking about this to different groups, and they went on a travel. And they started calling themselves the Two or the UFO Two. And they believed that they would be killed and resurrected in view of others and transported onto a spaceship. They believed this shit.
This was the 70s, you said?
This was the 70s.
No further explanation
They
needed?
called it the transition.
Yes. Now, they were just the Two until 1974. Then they got their first follower. Her name was Sharon Morgan. And then she actually abandoned her children to go follow these two fucking nitwits.
What a bitch.
And then she actually, like, a month later left them and went back to her family. So it was like she went through a phase. And I guarantee you, like, the kids are like, fuck you, Mom.
What? What are you looking at me for?
A phase?
She was only gone for a month.
That's not a phase.
So they started, doing these public speaking things, and they started recruiting people, and they called them the Crew. And they kept saying that they are from another planet, but not just another planet. They are from the kingdom of heaven itself, which is another planet in our universe, according to these two fucks.
Do you remember the one Mars episode we did, and Anthony was like, yeah, we totally want to go visit Gleek Blurp. That's what these people...
Yeah. So here's what solidified it. 3 years in, 1975. Picture it. During they were doing one of these stupid fucking things, and they had a simultaneous revelation. They both said the same thing at the same time, and they went, "Holy shit! That's never happened before. It must be a sign from God."
They turned around and said they finish each other's sandwiches. That's exactly what they did right there.
And they said that we were the two that were talked about in the book of Revelation. That's us. So people started joining the group. And in September of that year, they were preaching in Oregon, and they told people, you have to sell all your shit and say goodbye to everybody to join us. And that's what people did. They got about 20 people following them. They sold all of their shit on the spot, called up their wife, their mothers, their family, and said, "I'll see you later," and then started following these two fucking morons around.
How could people like this get followers, and yet we can't get nobody to follow us? I don't
No,
understand.
we get people to follow. I mean, like, come on, you're selling yourself
We
short.
just don't have crazy devoted people following us.
You
That's
know,
true.
we'll start promising people are going to, like, take off on a spaceship or
No
something
one's willing
like
to
that.
kill in the name of "Is this real?" And thank God for that.
How many followers will you get if we take a few out?
That's enough out of
Hey,
you.
whoa! Hey, time out. No, don't do it.
I'm not
No.
saying.
I will get the spray bottle.
No timeout.
So they
I'm
s-
with Dad on that one.
So they started calling themselves Doe and T,
Don't NT.
right? And
Is it
after
doe
this,
or do?
Doe, like
Doe.
a doe, a female deer. But he was Doe was Applegate, Nettles was T, which is weird because it's like, where the fuck did you get that from?
I think they were acronyms: dumb and tit.
He just called her tit.
Yes.
So
Dumb and tit.
they got to about 100 members across across the nation, and they told them you have to like give up everything. So people were like homeless. They would beg for food. They would sleep in tents. They basically made a homeless population.
And they picked on the Manson family.
I know, right?
So basically, he started Mr. West's tent city. That's exactly what he did.
Essentially. And they said that we are helping people achieve a higher evolutionary level. And that if you do this the right way, you will be accepted onto this planet when we get picked up by the spaceship, and we'll all go to heaven together. In fact, Applewhite was certain that he was Jesus' successor and Christ on earth.
See, that's what I have a problem with. At some point, doesn't this guy look at himself in the mirror and go, maybe, just maybe, I might be wrong here?
This man drank his own Kool-Aid, and that's Jim Jones, by the way, someone else who did the suicide thing. But this
That's
man,
next week.
yeah, this man drank his own Kool-Aid, and he believed that he was the embodiment of Christ on earth, and Nettles was presented as God the Father. And in 1976,
Wouldn't it be God the Mother?
doesn't matter. That's what they called each other. And in 1976, they kind of calmed down. They stopped recruiting, and they became like reclusive. Like they didn't do as much, they didn't do as many road shows. They kind of like brought it back. And they instead just said, listen, we nailed down our religion, this is the guidelines, this is the book, everyone has to follow this, and here's like 25 rules, and here's like the list of sins and questions you can't get into. Like, this is what they said. And in fact, it was so stringent that they banned drugs and alcohol, fine, but they even banned sexuality. To the point where
That's 2 by 3 food groups.
Applewhite and about 11 other members castrated themselves
Oh.
in the name of their religion.
Oh, no.
I'm
So-
sorry. When you start cutting your nuts off, there's a problem.
So-
You need to fucking wake up.
So the whole idea is they told people, when we die, we're going to be killed, and then we're going to rise again, and then body and soul are going to get put on the spaceship and go to heaven.
My knees are weak.
Well, in 1985, Bonnie Lou Nettles died of cancer. She did not ascend to heaven. So Applewhite panicked and kind of rewrote the rules. And he said that our physical bodies are not actually our bodies. And her mind and consciousness, that ascended. This is what this asshole did after she died because there was no other answer.
Wow.
Like, talk about rewriting shit on the fly. Like, you're already 10 years in, and now you're just, let me fix
Wow.
this.
Let me ask you a question. Maybe,
go
maybe
ahead.
you guys can know the answer. I know we're talking about all these cults this season and whatever. It doesn't law enforcement have special agencies that actually tracks these people and sees
Sure.
what the fuck they're doing, tries to deprogram before they're programmed?
No.
They're
That's-
not.
They're not doing anything wrong.
They're not doing anything wrong. Like
Nothing illegal.
to the point of, like, they're not to the point of the mass suicide, which we'll talk about. In
There's
a
been
couple
debates on whether that's a suicide or should be considered murder.
minutes. Yeah. Like, there's no crime that's being committed. If someone wants to sit there and say, "I give up all my I give up all my property, I give up all my rights to somebody," that person. Funny enough, they say they give up all their rights, but that person has the right to do that.
Yep.
There is nothing in the law stating you can't. sit
Yeah,
there
all
and
right,
do
I
that.
understand all that, but now I'm gonna just give you a hypothetical. Suppose this guy decided that he was the big supreme leader, and somehow along the line he armed all these people, and they went and they start killing people. At that point,
There's a difference.
Then they start blaming the law enforcement how you didn't have an eye on these people.
Well, no, there
That's my
is
whole
an eye,
thing.
but you cannot go after someone until they break the law.
Yeah, let's turn this into a gun debate. It's not illegal to buy a weapon. He could have armed he could have had 1,000 followers and told everyone, go buy assault rifles and handguns and shotguns. And as long as the paperwork checked out and the background checks, if there was one, depending on the state, checked out, nothing wrong or illegal with that. You can arm yourself to the tit. Unless, of course, it's Waco. But there's nothing illegal about that. Now, if he turns around and says, go do, well, that's different. And he never did that. Although, he was getting very suspicious of people. He was getting new members, and he didn't trust them. He thought that a conspiracy was going on in his group, and he avoided new converts, worrying that they were infiltrators. He actually feared that a government raid was going to happen on his home, which does beg the question, why are you afraid of that if you're not doing anything wrong?
No, that's I don't understand. We have to have something in this country. We're gonna start tracking these lunatics.
Well,
Well,
there's
Whether they're doing
I-
guilty
you
or not,
can-
you
there's
have
nothing
to.
wrong.
But you could sit there and track somebody. Like, that's what not most wanted. That's the difference. But you have a watch list. FBI, CIA, they all have watch lists of these particular people in which we're keeping our eye on, but they haven't done anything wrong.
Like,
Okay.
it's the same thing in like these teenage school shooters. Like this is news for this week. The one school shooter, I think it was Ohio about 10 years ago. He killed like 4 of his classmates. The mother got convicted this week.
I saw something about that.
And she got convicted for child negligence because there were signs that this kid wanted to commit crimes. He was writing nasty, disgusting things in his notebooks. And instead of getting him therapy, they went and got him a handgun, which he turned around and he used on his
How old
school.
was the kid?
17. Now the kid's fucked up in the head. Like during his 3 consecutive life sentences, supermax prison, like he's in the cell 23 out of 24 hours a day. But like during his
Should
one
be dead, but
during his one sentence, he looked like he looked at the parents of the people he killed, and he went, the hand that pulled the trigger and took your son's life now jerks off to its memory. I'm like, that is the most wicked thing I've ever heard someone say.
In the words of Joshua, that's so metal.
That's fucking
You
metal.
beat me to it, you bitch.
Now,
I was just about to whisper
but again,
that.
but again, like he didn't do anything wrong
know you
until he
like the
did
back of my
something
dick.
wrong. That's the problem. He didn't do anything wrong until he did something wrong.
No, that's-
And you can't just keep tabs on everyone like
But
that. That's
that's-
like spying on on everybody.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you could sit there. Like, I guarantee now there's fucking cults in this country that the FBI knows about that we don't.
Oh, sure.
Like,
Absolutely.
They're,
Now,
they're gonna sit there and
Every
keep it
major
trying.
religion.
now,
Fuck you.
in the 80s, Applewhite started talking about the apocalypse. He started saying that the where'd I go? I just fucking lost my place. Here we go. He was comparing the earth to a garden, saying that it needs to be recycled and humanity is a failed experiment. It's been overgrown. There's too many weeds in the garden.
Dude,
and we
I
have
agree
to
with
burn
that
it
even
down.
today.
We have to
Like-
burn it down.
I agree.
He contended that most humans had been brainwashed by Lucifer, but that his followers could break free of that control. He specifically cited sexual urges as a
hold
work
on.
of Lucifer.
Okay, hold on a minute. I can believe him on something like that.
Uh-oh.
I do.
Here we go.
I do. As a Christian, I believe that Satan has infiltrated the earth to a point that he has now everything that used to be one way is completely different, and everybody don't give a fuck about it. Okay, and I'm not going to cite exactly what I'm talking about as far as the things that I think he's done, but I think he's
staring at you,
infiltrated the
Taylor.
world. Huh?
He's
I'm staring
blaming
at
Taylor
you, Taylor
Swift.
Swift.
I didn't say nothing about Taylor Swift.
I said I'm staring at you, Taylor Swift. You have
Oh,
earphones
all right,
in,
whatever,
you still
but
can't hear.
Well,
I do believe
I'll
that.
talk about, like, he wrote a very specific idea of what evil is and how it's infiltrated. I'll get to that later in the episode. But he calls them Luciferians.
Yeah.
But it's not just like the people. Like, one thing is like he argued that many prominent moral teachers and advocates of political correctness were actually Luciferians. So he said that, but he also said like people who engage in hypersexuality or sex workers, they're also Luciferians, and also aliens, because there are aliens in the universe, and they are also acting on Lucifer's will, and they are influencing people on Earth.
What you just described actually
Here we go.
is one of the doctrines of the Catholic Church.
Aliens?
They believe that aliens
Well, I mean, wasn't he a Catholic?
are
No.
demonic presence.
Oh.
That's exactly what's going on. Now, if you
Well, I
if
mean,
you
I'm
do your
not exactly
research
sure.
on it,
This-
one of the greatest observatories, one of the most powerful observatories that we have in the country, is owned by the Roman Catholic Church.
So let
Why
me
would
get this,
they need it?
Let me get this straight. The Catholic Church believes that all of existence, whether there's life out there or not, that we have no idea, we haven't proved it yet. If there is, it's automatically demonic. This one planet with the people on it, they're the chosen. Everything else is
I
demonic?
didn't say that. I just said that
You
they,
said aliens.
aliens. They believe that aliens are nothing more
Are
than
you talking
fallen
about like
angels.
border jumpers?
No, okay, that's exactly
Not
no,
illegal aliens.
That's you're wrong. But Dad, that's exactly what he believed in too.
Okay.
That you're 100% right. Anything that is
Extraterrestrial
extraterrestrial,
really is a demonic
it's a fallen angel.
fallen angel, right?
That's what he believed in. That's part of
I'm
his.
telling you, man. You know what? I might be one of these Heaven Gates people.
Okay, don't drink the. Stay away from the pudding and the Kool-Aid.
Can't eat
In
pudding,
19,
diabetic.
19
If they offer you a drink, refuse.
in
please.
1988,
Look around. I need a fucking drink.
in 1988,
Sugar-free.
they mailed a document talking about their New Age religion, and they said about their history and all that shit, and what they said about UFOs. All that went public in 1988, and they remained inconspicuous until 1992, where they recorded a 12-part video series and broadcasted it via satellite. And all the transcripts are on their website, which is still active today. The series is basically a rehashing of their teachings, and they have like a Q&A session with Applewhite. And then in 1993, mind you, they were never called Heaven's Gate. In 1993, they took the name Total Overcomers Anonymous. No one knows what the fuck that means.
Hi, I'm Joe, and I'm a total overcomer.
They spent $30,000 to publish a full-page advertisement in USA Today that warned everyone of the catastrophic judgment that was going to happen to Earth. He published its publication led about 20 former members to rejoin the group. Along with this series of lectures in 94, membership doubled. So they're almost up to 100 at this point. He posted his teachings on the internet, but obviously the internet did its thing and called him a fucking loon. And mind you, this was in 1994. The internet came out
Well,
swinging.
in '94, they also moved to Texas.
Yes, yes. Now, that's also when he started talking about suicide as a way to get to heaven. But he said that it's not the same thing as what Christians believe. Well, you kill yourself, you go right to hell. They define suicide in their own terms, meaning to turn against heaven and what's being offered is suicide. Their human bodies are only vehicles to get them to heaven. So destroying your body isn't necessarily a slight against heaven's kingdom. So you can do whatever you want to your vessel as long as you believe and your soul believes in heaven, you're going to be fine.
They also called it a higher level.
They called it the higher level, but the higher level really, I keep saying heaven's kingdom or kingdom of heaven. It's the same shit.
No, not really. From what I remember, from what I learned from it, it was like an unlocking of the mind.
Yeah.
Like T and Doe were on higher levels,
Yes.
and everybody else needed to unlock their mind to get to the higher level.
I have how you're supposed to do that according to T and Doe. I have that shit.
We'll get that into the next part, but
Let's just finish this up with the mass suicide. Yeah, because that's the thinking everyone wants. October of 96, they all committed suicide in a rented mansion they called the Monastery out in Los Angeles. They purchased, listen to this, Dad, you're going to love this. That month, the group purchased alien abduction insurance that would cover up to 50 members and would pay out $1 million a person. The policy covered abduction, impregnation, and death by aliens.
I want to know who that insurance salesman was, because he is going to go right to the top of the fucking class. Are you kidding me?
Between March 19th and 20th of 97, Marshall Applewhite taped himself in what he called Doe's final exit. And he said mass suicide is the only way to evacuate this earth. He said the comet hail bop was the sign that the group had been looking for, and there was a UFO trailing the comet. Applewhite and 38 of his followers prepared for the ritual suicide so their souls could get on to the UFO to take them to heaven. That's what happened. Now they all took drugs. Phenobarbital.
Phenobarbital.
That's the one. It's a seizure medicine. They took that, they mixed it with applesauce or pudding and washed it down with vodka. So they went out in style. And then they would lay down. And they did this in groups.
They might
So,
as well drinking Everclear with it. Jesus.
So they did this over 3 days. So 15 people died the first day, 15 the second day, and the remainder on the third day. Very organized. I got to give them credit. So what they did was they all had the same haircuts. They all dressed in the same clothes with the same Nikes. They ate their pudding. They laid down. They put bags over their heads. And after they were dead, whoever was around put like a purple cloth over their faces. Applewhite was the third to last to die. He was the third to last to die. So after he died, you had 2 guys left. They ate their pudding. That's why there was nothing found on them. They just died. No one was there to put their bags over their heads. Sad. That was sad. And they put out tapes. Everyone put out a big tape. Like everyone was like, "We'll see you when you get there. Bon voyage." They made that tape and they sent it out to followers across the nation. One guy got it and was like, "Oh shit, I'm late for the party." And he showed up and everyone was dead. And he let the authorities know. And that's how they found them.
No one saved me a sandwich?
With that, you're a fucking asshole. With that, several other people died afterwards. A 58-year-old man living in California killed himself in the same manner. He left a note and he said, "I'm going to be on the spaceship with the hail bop to be with those who have gone before me." He had no known connection to Heaven's Gate. Like literally, he saw this in the news and went, "That's for me." And then he offed himself. And then 3 other people died in the following months following suicides as well. May of 97, Wayne Cook and Chuck Humphrey attempted suicide in a hotel. Cook died. Humphrey survived, but then he killed himself a couple months later anyway, in February of 98.
He was determined.
He was. And then another former member, his name was James Perkney Jr., he shot himself and killed himself a little later on. And that was it. Like, they all wiped themselves out. Now, Heaven's Gate as today, there's 2 former members, and they both live in Arizona. And they operate the foundation. I don't know why. And they operate the website, or at least they're believed to operate the website. And as of 2017, there's been no active growth. So...
no active growth.
Yeah, there's no leader. There's no one there to kind of like, this is what we do. There's no initiation process. Like, you send the email like, "Hey, I want to join." You'd never get a response. So there's no active membership.
How smart are these two? Shouldn't they
so that
take
means
their
we
own
can take
words?
over?
No, I don't think we should take over. Look, I'm not the face of Heaven's Gate, Joe. We shouldn't do that.
Yes, the fuck you are.
Hey, that's a cult no one's operating? I see opportunity. Like Uncle Keith once said, potential.
Potentially, yeah. You would do it.
So that's a story of Heaven's Gate. Now, if you want to talk about their beliefs, we can do that after the break.
Yes.
Because it is fucked.
Yes.
Can I just do a quick mention?
Yeah, sure.
So I was watching a video, and they were doing like clips of the people from the cult, and apparently, allegedly, I was trying to look up the name because I didn't know how the hell to say it and I couldn't remember. So the chick who played Uhura on Star Trek, the original,
Nichelle Nichols, yes.
I think it was her brother or relative that was actually in the cult.
Her brother Thomas, yes.
Oh, okay, so it was her brother.
He was part of the 38 who off themselves in the monastery, yes.
And, which is crazy because in the video, I saw what they did. They were living basically alone in the one house. They all had the same exact haircut. They all wore regular clothes that didn't really give them identity. They were all wearing the same sneakers. And it was like, for a second there, I'm like, are they the originators of like non-binary? I'm not sure.
Really gonna go there?
You know what? Not for nothing,
Please
but they
don't go there.
don't say they
Gender
did.
neutral.
They
What?
did castrate themselves. Like you are forcing yourself to be gender neutral at that point.
Yeah, there you go. Gender. That's what I meant.
They actually had patches on their arms that said Heaven's Gate away team.
Yeah, like they modeled themselves actually after like Star Trek.
Yeah.
It's not even a joke.
And here's some like Egyptian or ancient Greek, mythology shit. Each member was found having $5.75 in their pockets. $5 bill and 3 quarters. So like, you know how like in ancient Greece you would like put or
odd amount.
I know, but like you know how like the ancients would put like coins over someone's eyes so they would pay
Yeah.
the ferryman?
They put a gold coin over each eye.
Yes. So it's essentially that idea. The $5 bill was to cover the cost of vagrancy laws. I don't know what that means. I don't think, it's like you're dead. And the quarters were for calling home for payphone. So it's like you had $5.75 in your pocket and that was it.
That's $225.
Someone was just scooping up, going through all the dead people. This guy dropped a quarter.
We're gonna.
Wait a minute. If it's for quarters, then like what? They can make 3 calls from the afterlife and that's it? A quarter each?
Heaven has payphones? You would think if Heaven had access, they wouldn't be charging anybody. It'd be just like, go ahead, make the call.
We're gonna take a short break.
Oh, they charge.
We'll be right back. Please go listen to some of our sponsors as we continue with this episode and get into their beliefs. My head's about to explode. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, we're just letting you know that we have new merch in our store. Go to greenhourmediastore.myspreadshop.com, greenhourmedia.org, or the link in the bio for our first ever logo drop. The Cryptid Collection is here. Get your favorite cryptids such as Bigfoot, Mothman, Nessie, the Yeti, or the Jersey Devil on t-shirts, hats, or mugs. You can also get all of our podcast logos on various items as well. Remember, that's greenhourmediastore.myspreadshop.com, greenhourmedia.org, or the link in the bio. New episodes of Is This Real drop Sundays at 8. Question everything.
Hey everybody, I'm JC3.
And I'm Mr. West.
And this episode is brought to you by Dubby. Made by professionals in the USA, Dubby was formulated to give you focus and energy with no jitters or crash. Their formula contains vitamins, amino acids, including the patented neurofactor. You know what Dubby doesn't give you?
What is that?
No calories,
No calories.
no sugars,
No sugar.
no fillers,
No fillers.
and no artificial flavors. When the raw ingredients arrive to their FDA-registered and inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP guidelines, they undergo a quarantine while a small sample of each ingredient is taken to test for any impurities, while also being tested to ensure that the ingredients are actually what they are supposed to be and have the proper dosage.
And once the ingredients pass all the tests, then they're cleared to get mixed into the formula. So head on over to dubby.gg and use our offer code IsThisRealPC for 10% off your first order. That's DUBBY.GG and use the code IsThisRealPC for 10% off. They have great flavors such as Galaxy Grenade, Dub Sludge, Passion Joy Tea, Monkey Madness, and Dragonade. My personal favorites.
Dragonade right here. I got Dragonade right here. Delicious.
Drink Dubby.
And be better.
These products are not intended to diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.
And we are back with the Heaven's Gate cult and this fucking hippity hoppity hoopity, what the fuck these people are called themselves these days. Doe and T. That's
Well,
what
they don't
Doe
call
and
themselves.
T.
They don't call themselves
Well,
anything. They're fucking dead.
Yeah, they're dead.
Well, when we last left him, Doe was rewriting the rules of everything. So
Well, no, when we last lost them, they committed suicide.
Yeah, he ate
remember?
the.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's
remember
right.
he ate the pudding and
he ate the what
Took a
brand
sh-
pudding? Do we know?
I don't know. He took a shot of vodka and then there we go. He's gone.
You would think the brand of pudding would like this might kill you. It's so good. Like, you know, that type. No,
That
that's
they
not
would
good branding.
not take advantage of that back then.
This
Dad,
is
move
Bill
over a little
Cosby for Heaven's Gate. Oh.
Whoa, no. No. No.
You mean to tell me that
Make
if
sure
I
you
eat
grab
this
your pudding,
pudding-
Bob.
Okay, so we're gonna get into these.
Well, they certainly went sleepy, Bill. Do you have anything to do with it? Oh. No. I liked them alive, don't you?
Wow.
They didn't have to be conscious, just not dead. Anyway,
This is the babbling you were talking about at the beginning of this.
Yeah, see? I told you.
so you want to know what they believe?
Yeah, we're gonna get into
All right.
the beliefs.
Ready for this?
Please.
I've been talking a lot, but this is okay. Everyone, strap in because this is some heavy shit.
Strap on.
This is actually most of this stuff that I have here is from their website. I paraphrase as much as I could without having to lose, what this is. Here we go. 2,000 years ago, members of the Kingdom of Heaven decided that humans on Earth were developed enough to be inhabitable for their soul deposits. Don't say a fucking word.
I'm trying to understand what that means.
Basically, they saw humans as suits who had to grow up and mature enough to be worn by them, the members of the Kingdom of Heaven. One member was instructed to go to Earth to accomplish a task. He took over the human that was known as Jesus of Nazareth. And by the time Jesus was 30 years old, he was baptized by John the Baptist. In Luke chapter 3, verses 21 to 38. Now, when all the people were baptized, and when Jesus had been also baptized and was praying, heaven was opened, and the Holy Spirit descended upon him in a bodily form as a dove, and a voice came from the heaven, "Thou art my Son, with thee I am pleased." Jesus then began his ministry at about 30 years of age, being the son of supposedly Joseph, the son of Heli, blah, 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 the son of David, the Judah, Jacob, Isaac, Abraham. It lists like 40 names, all the way back to the son of Seth, the son of Adam, and the son of God. Jesus being a direct descendant from Adam and Eve. The sole task that was given to this member from the Kingdom of Heaven was to offer the way leading membership into the Kingdom of Heaven to those on earth who recognized him and chose to follow him. Those individuals who had received a deposit containing a soul began to have the capacity to believe or recognize the Kingdom of Heaven. Through the Father, they would have to believe him, and only through the Father was total reliance. So you can only believe in God in order to get to heaven. So let's backtrack a little bit.
Please, because I'm confused.
Basically saying that, number one, heaven's a real place. It's a physical place in the universe.
Kind of like the Fortnite minimap.
I don't know what that is. Aliens are fallen angels. They exist, but they're all bad. And in heaven, people, they're not really people. They're genderless beings who have the power to come to Earth and inhabit a body. And when they do that, they take over eventually. They start small, and the example they use was, think of like two balloons in a vase. One balloon is growing and growing and growing and pushing the other balloon to be smaller or to pushing it out. That smaller balloon that's going small, that smaller balloon is like the consciousness of who we are as humans. And all the faults that we have, that we're born with, sex and desire and the inhibitions of doing evil. That's all us. We're mammals. We're animals. And what they were doing, what the members of heaven were doing, they would implant themselves into the minds and souls of these people, and they would grow. And if the person chose to believe in the spirit growing inside them, they were given access to become whole on and ascend to the next level and eventually become a passenger to go to heaven.
So essentially the plot of Aliens.
Well, no, I mean, aliens, you needed to be, it's like an egg, and you had to be incubated, and then they escaped, and then they ate more people.
Yeah. Your vessel gets plundered.
Sure.
Oh, great. Now we're going to sit there and have a whole debate of fucking if these guys were the original authors of Aliens.
In Applewhite's view, sexuality was the most powerful force that bound humans to their bodies and thus hindered their efforts
They're a predator.
to evolve. He taught that the next level beings had no sexual organs, no reproductive organs, and that Luciferian beings had gender. He also cited a verse in the New Testament that there was no marriage in heaven. In addition, he required members to adopt similar clothing and haircuts and identify as a non-sexual family.
I know nobody's going to get this reference, but I got to do it anyway.
Go ahead.
To quote General Behringer in War Games, that's horseshit. Okay?
The funny
it's
part is,
fucking horseshit.
it may be horseshit, but I still would believe that more over any other fucking flat Earth theory you ever give me.
And now we're going. Please don't bring the flat Earth
Yeah,
and the
let's,
logos or all this other bullshit. Please stick to the.
So let's
These people are lunatics.
so this is
anyone
their belief
else
system.
like the term Luciferians?
Yeah, it's like it has a ring to it.
It's pretty fucking
It's
metal.
just fucking stupid.
So here's their belief system, a
fucking
little bit
stupid.
more explained, and I'll kind of race through this. In the early 70s, two individuals from the kingdom of heaven incarnated themselves into two human bodies in their 40s. Obviously, Doe and T. That's what they believed. The bodies were called vessels, and they were just a physical tool for the individuals to wear while walking among humans. They were brought to Earth with a crew of students who had been on Earth in a previous mission. They were in various stages of transition, and they were still basically learning how to get into heaven. They arrived in Earth somewhere between the 40s and the 90s. I love that's exactly what they wrote. Somewhere between the 40s and the 90s. That's when they got to Earth. We suspected that many of us arrived in
That's the narrow
UFO crashes, and many of our bodies, genderless, not belonging to humans, were retrieved by government and military personnel and discarded. Other crews from the Kingdom of Heaven were tagged, and these vehicles eventually were available for these other ones to be incarnated into.
Yeah, I got something.
Go ahead.
Religious studies scholar Joseph Laycock has written about how some aspects of emerging UFO subculture blended scientific and supernaturalist theories, bringing together religion and conspiratorial thinking. Likewise, historian David G. Robertson has documented how UFO conspiracy theories eventually merged with the New Age religious thinking to create what he calls UFO millennial conspiracism.
Yeah, that's
Heaven's
essentially
Gate
what this is.
was part of one of those.
Yeah, they believe
those
that
kind of
heaven's a
trends.
planet, aliens came down here, and they're genderless, and they were able to take over the bodies of certain people.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of fucking holy shit, Dogma.
In a sense, yeah, I get what you're
I
putting
mean,
down.
you know, the whatchamacallit,
The
he was
angels had to-
genderless,
yeah.
you know, stuff like
You
that.
had to take over. You had to have permission and shit. Well, they didn't ask for permission. They just said that this body's good enough, and they just took it.
He's
Mhm.
as sexually ambiguous as Ken.
Yep. Now, as a genderless kingdom, it reproduces or adds members through this metamorphic process of taking over souls and shit.
Photosynthesis.
Yeah, seriously. They say that 2,000 years in heaven is actually like 48 hours to heaven, and that it's like they do this every 2,000 years, and they call it an age. So, you know, by the end of it, Applewhite was like, we're reaching the end of our age, and they're going to restart everything. So every 2,000 years, as far as humans have been around, we destroy ourselves and restart the Earth.
So basically, it was kind of like what we were talking about in the end of the world episode with the Y2K.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, he falls into that little area too.
A little bit, but he didn't make it to see Y2K.
No, they didn't.
No, he you know, they went belly up in 97. Here's something for you, Dad. You'll like this one. Humans with deposits, which means that they're tagged for the aliens. Like aliens are like, I'm going to take over that body. The humans that are tagged can be identified as some of those who are rapidly losing respect for this world and its system. They are, from the establishment's point of view, being irresponsible or antisocial and will be seen by the world as duped, crazy, a cultist, a drifter, a loner, a dropout, a separatist, etc., etc.
A separatist?
Yes.
Like in Star Wars?
No. Basically, it's saying that the aliens are going to take over these people, and these people are going to be looked at as the outcast, and they're the ones that are going to rise up. The meek shall inherit the earth. But in this case, it's the crazy fucks who think that they will. At the end of each age of civilization, you had to be faithful in order to get, access to the spaceship. And even that didn't guarantee you a spot into heaven, because you can always come down when the next age starts and keep doing good deeds until you're fully qualified for heaven. That's another thing. Like, there's this big, bureaucratic process to get into heaven, apparently.
Ain't that a bitch? You gotta get a high ass credit score to get in that.
So here's those
4.2 GPA.
So
Fuck that.
anybody who doesn't make it to heaven becomes an opposition to the kingdom of heaven. They're automatically an enemy. Once in a prior civilization, records suggest, I don't know what records he's referencing, but he says records suggest that a third of the class fell, and the strongest leader of the aliens, called Lucifer, took over. Even today, they occupy near the heavens as what humans refer to as space aliens. They also burrow in bases underground, and they participate in genetic manipulation and hybridization with humans, and attempt to recruit those humans with souls who are weak in their humanity. They offer humans whatever they want. These Luciferians and their devotees preach and take the steps necessary to take over the planet using people's basic mammalian ethic. Basically, it's like you pray to them and they do whatever they want. Like, you pray to them, they give you what you want in order for you to say stupid, so you could serve the Luciferians. Instead of being holy and just saying I believe in the aliens and God, they're the ones who are giving you gifts and answering your prayers. They're the real ones answering prayers.
Dude, this whole fucking thing is just so far out there.
These fallen
You
angels.
know what? I'm glad these people fucking killed themselves.
These fallen angels unknowingly also serve the kingdom of heaven by providing adversary for humans to overcome, which is necessary to rise above this world. So by being evil, it gives me a chance to overcome it, therefore I'm making me eligible for heaven.
I think they killed themselves because they confused themselves. I think that's one of the things that we're getting to with this.
Now here's the big one that I think Dad'll like. I understand.
I don't think he likes anything right now.
I'm fine. I just, I'm just.
Well, no, you know what this is to him? It's interesting, but it's at the same. I have the same look from him that I got
during cryptids
during the whole cryptid episode.
All right, listen to this, Dad.
It's all bullshit.
I'll explain to you. You're right. I'll explain.
It's all
to
bullshit. None of it's fucking real. Why do I have to listen to it?
Okay, here we go. Ready? Where the space aliens have a strong major stronghold is playing God, is through humans who have power. The power is the strongest among the humans, the very rich and the very righteous in their self-styled religions, who accept that it is their God-given responsibility to maintain the world's stability, judged, of course, by whatever actions necessary to maintain and increase that power. These powerful individuals have a loose-knit worldwide club that for the most part dictates who their primary players are, those leaders in the significant or strong societies or cultures. Government leaders, the rich, the righteous, the quote-unquote moral leaders need each other to accomplish their desired ends. They together determine what is right and what is wrong for the populace as a whole, for they trust their overview and no one else's. This morality call translates down to every level of society's structure: laws, permissiveness, and intolerance.
Time out. I agree with that, but I agree for different reasons.
I'm in the same boat.
I agree with exactly what they're saying, but it's not about religion, and it's not about their moral grounds. It's about greed.
Yes, it's about control.
He's got it totally fucking upside down.
The government laws.
Is it me?
Hold on. The government's law enforces enforcers see to it that nothing is permitted to significantly threaten the rules of the big bedfellow's morality, which is no morality at all, but just a long list of what you can and cannot do that protect money, power, and sustain the acceptable morality code. Any little group that isn't totally subjective to their rules begins to see through this control mechanism or questions its rightness is seen as a subversive, radical, antisocial cult or potentially terrorists. This man believed that there was a worldwide government that's controlled by Lucifer, that keeps the checks and balance of power, and does everything that we think the Illuminati does in the service of Satan.
I can totally agree with that.
That's a fucking Heaven's Gate member.
I agree with that. I've been saying that for years.
I don't think it's going to be you that takes over the cult.
No, I don't think it's nothing about a cult. You just got to open your eyes, Joe.
Now let's go into So he's married the Illuminati.
I thought he was done.
No. I got a few more. It is a fact of record that a number of space aliens
Oh, here we go.
have recently, in the past few decades, visited Earth. These are deals of mutual benefit, trading spacecraft technology for uninterrupted genetic experimentation. All of these activities are far beneath the kingdom of heaven's interest, and are in fact diversory efforts of the space aliens to have humans look at them at a time to have this fucking it just runs off. Basically, to have to take over humanity. The Lucifer aliens come to Earth, they do whatever the fuck they want, and we get technology. That's what this guy believed in a nutshell.
I can't say he's far from the truth. What do you think you got going on at Area 51? What do you think you got going on in Arizona?
I don't think hold on. I don't.
Come on.
I don't think that it's. I don't
got
think there's
3 more
aliens.
points, by
Okay,
the way.
I don't think there's aliens trying to take over humanity.
It's genetic manipulation. Let me experiment on humans. I'll give you a spacecraft if you give me a human to experiment and fuck with.
Humans are experimenting on humans.
Why do you think? I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a minute. Why do you think?
Well, in your case, if it's not devil's advocate, it would be
Luciferian advocate.
No, I'm gonna just say, okay, if they really wanted to know what was going on, or they didn't give a shit about anything, they would attack us. They're advanced with their technology. They would have attacked us, and we would have been just like they could have wiped us the fuck out. But instead of doing that, they're trying to advance their culture or trying to just learn about us by trading off on giving our people technology that we can learn about for access to, the people are going missing every day. Where are they going?
That's exactly right. In fact, this was reported on by Walter Cronkite in the 80s, and he said people are missing, and it's because of Heaven's Gate.
You got people that are roaming into the mountains. That's another. What you ready to do is season on missing people, because there's certain national parks where people go missing they're never seen again.
Well, do you know why that
The
is?
Appalachians hold their secrets.
Do you know why that is? And again, you could sit there and say, yes or no. It's speculation because nobody's actually searched them and figured if this is where the bodies are.
You're not wrong.
But if you look at the map of the missing people, I forgot what the name of that map is called.
Missing people map.
It's
That's fair.
That is fair.
It's close, right?
And you lay it on top of the map of the cave systems in the United States.
They line up.
They line up perfectly.
Yeah. So what are you saying?
A lot of people go missing in
A
caves.
lot of people go missing in caves. A lot of people go walking and then, oh no, I fell, and then dude, nobody fucking can find them.
Maybe those caves are where Bigfoot hides.
Oh dear God.
Okay.
So now
No one's ever seen a Bigfoot. That's all I got to tell you.
So this guy's attacked. He's attacked. He said, like, listen, aliens are real, and they are here to pop. They do
Pop
this.
the cherry.
They fuck with humans. The Illuminati is real. They fuck with humans. Now, aliens have also very successfully, through their religions, totally confused the human's concept of God. The kingdom of heaven doesn't like religion. It abhors religion, for it binds humans more thoroughly to the human kingdom using strong misinformation mixed in with the cosmic or universal consciousness of creation, which in truth they know nothing. Only the Luciferians could have Christians believing that Jesus promoted family values becoming better humans, establishing professional religious institutions, and looking for a second coming of some flowing robe, peace and love manifestation of their artist's own conceptions. At any time, any member of the kingdom of heaven is assigned a task to deal with humans directly. And since that member is a member of the kingdom of God, he is God to that human, for he is a member of the kingdom of heaven. That is not to say that there is not one who is supreme. The only one individual can grow in the kingdom of heaven is to learn to be dependent on the older member that is the source of unlimited growth and knowledge. So any young member in good standing forever remains totally dependent upon his older member for all things. Basically saying that whatever alien takes over you is your God, because all their gods all come from the same place. The fact that we have different religions on Earth is a ploy by the Luciferians to keep us confused and arguing with each other.
I can't believe that at all, but that's one of the things
And then he talks about a little bit more about it. The Earth is an overflowing garden with weeds and stuff. And then if you can connect everything and you believe in it, then you can understand that the heaven is real, and that you have to have faith in whatever thing took you over in order to get there.
All I'm getting from this,
that's basically the last couple things,
is, and I'll say this one thing, and then we'll go to break. There's a very fine line between religion and cultism.
You're not wrong.
A very, very fine line, and we'll talk more about that when we get back from break.
Yeah, I got one more before we. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but we'll talk about how he defines evil, and then we'll finish it up.
Thank you. You can't just we'll be right back. Who wants better sex? And who wants better sex starting now? The best way to get started is go to adamandeve.com.
Adam and Eve is offering 50% off just any item.
But that's not all. When you select your one item, you will also get 3 bonus items. That includes a gift for him, a special gift for her, and a gift you'll both like.
Plus 6 free movies for your viewing pleasure and free shipping.
There is discreet shipping, as your privacy is priority. Plus 100% free shipping on your entire order.
Doesn't matter how much you spend or what you buy, it will all be packaged and sent discreetly for free.
Don't wait. Better sex is just one click away.
That's 50% off one item, 3 free gifts, 6 free movies, and free shipping.
Bring more pleasure and satisfaction to your bedroom.
Just go to adamandeve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy or anything you desire.
Just enter code QUESTION at checkout.
That's question, QUESTION at adamandeve.com.
This exclusive offer is specific to this podcast only. So be sure at checkout you punch in the code QUESTION, that is QUESTION, at checkout, and get your 50% off one item, 10 free gifts, and free shipping. Remember, use code QUESTION. Also remember to listen to Is This Real every Sunday at 8 o'clock with new episodes starting July 16th. Remember, everybody, question everything and put that question at the end of your checkout at adamandeve.com.
Hello, this is JC3 speaking. If you want to know more about Is This Real podcast and our parent company Green Hour Media, then visit greenhourmedia.org. You can find and follow all of our social media pages through our website. If you love our content, then you can support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel and our Patreon page. Remember, that is greenhourmedia.org.
And welcome back to our Heaven's Cult episode. We are coming down to our final segment here as we went through the history of Heaven's Gate. We went through what they believe in, which was a very long segment.
Interesting, though.
I don't know, dude. I was falling asleep. But
thanks.
You're welcome.
I wasn't. I found it very interesting.
Well, we found out tonight that Dad's at Heaven's Gate, and he's going to be the new cult leader.
Yes, and you know what? We're all going to dress in flowing robes and drive around the country in micro tour buses. And I want everybody to throw $400.
What the fuck is a micro tour bus?
I want everybody to throw me $400 per person, and I'll get you into heaven somehow.
That's
So you want to lead people into a cult that is basically like, oh, we believe in a heaven, even though we don't believe in religion.
Well, in my
Even though heaven is part of religion.
on my charter, it clearly reads that you can give me the $400 and believe in whatever the fuck you want.
all right. So there's a shut up. As I said before going into break, before I was rudely interrupted, there is a fine line between religion and cultism, and this
Pencil thin.
yeah, and this explains it right here. I know you're looking at
I'm
me
going to argue with that a little bit, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
like you don't think that's true.
I do think it's true, but not. I don't think this qualifies as a cult.
Where's the button to cut his mic, please?
Hold on, wait.
Can I get through this and then we'll talk. We'll break down.
Yeah, sure.
So I just wanted to quickly touch on this is the evil plan.
Here's your host, Anthony.
This is the evil plan as they believed, right? Be married. They call it is the stay blind formula.
Oh, fucking just spit it out, Junior.
Part of the stay blind formula goes like this: be married, be a good parent, be a responsible churchgoer, buy a house, pay your mortgage, pay insurance, have a good line of credit, be socially committed, and graciously accept death with the hope that through Jesus' shed blood you will get into heaven. This is a worthless religious concept, and unless you're an active student or attempting to become a student of the Heaven's Gate religion, you are still of this world and you have done nothing significant that separates you from the kingdom of heaven. You are still serving the opposition to the kingdom of heaven by wanting all of that. It is your job to give up everything and to believe in the member that has infested your body, believe in them solely, and that's the only way to get into heaven. It is clear to all of us that the Antichrist, those propagators of sustained faithfulness to mammals, to mammalian humans,
Can I ask?
we are and will be seen as their Antichrist. This is certainly to be expected, but it will not delay our return to Father's kingdom. It might even accelerate our return. We will, between now and our departure, do everything we can to help those go with us, but we cannot allow them to fear with us, or we cannot allow them to interfere with us or delay our return to heaven. They believed in that.
Did we establish
I'm done.
what the quote-unquote member is that is taking over your body?
It's a deity from heaven. Well, it is a member of heaven. It's someone who lives in heaven. It is the angel. I'm assuming they mean it's the angels who didn't fall and become aliens.
Okay, so what I'm getting here.
That's what I'm getting.
Okay, you're now these deities that are in heaven. Did they once walk the earth, or they just?
Nope.
No, oh, so they're just from heaven.
Yep.
They're the angels from heaven.
Heaven is paradise, and
it's a planet.
It's beautiful, and everybody gets along, and there's peace and love and kumbaya. But they're worried about coming down to this shithole and taking over somebody's body.
Because when they come here, when they get here, they can infest the body.
No line for the corner.
And then they can help that soul get to heaven, so there's more people going to heaven. That's the whole point of it. Like, I have their mission statement.
Fuck free will.
Well, no, there's no free will in their religion. They're cult. It's a fucking cult. I don't care if you turn around and say it's a religion.
They're taking a lot from what I'm listening to. They're taking a lot from Catholicism and Christianity. I can tell you that already.
It's like if you
basically,
and they're just twisting.
Yes and no.
They say the window to heaven will not open again until another civilization is planted and it has reached maturity according to the judgment of God.
Horseshit.
Humans are found unprepared when a member of the kingdom of heaven comes, and that's the only time the grace of the kingdom of heaven can be offered to you. The dilemma is most humans are thoroughly hooked into humanity, and that's why they don't make it to heaven. Like, the whole thing is to get you to heaven. That's their mission statement.
I really pray, and if you're gonna sit there and believe, like, they all kill themselves, I hope they're burning in hell.
Mm.
That's what I pray.
I don't think they really believe in a hell. Like
I
they
don't care
believe
what
in
they
heaven.
believe in. I don't give a shit what they believe
I don't consider them a cult though.
in. Joshua, you look like you have something to say.
Honestly, this cult is sitting there talking about it's their religion, and it feels like they're just making extra steps to be a religion.
So
They want to be controlling the religion that is their religion, but it's technically the same shit as a regular religion, because it's like they're putting it as someone from heaven is going to infest your soul. What the hell are they doing?
Nothing. Dad just says he has to take a shit.
Oh, okay. Someone from heaven is going to infest your soul, and
it's just extra steps.
it's extra steps.
I know.
Because it's like regular religion is like you have to believe in God.
And then do all the nice things.
It's like we're gonna take Catholicism, shit on it, but it's like this is gonna
Steal
be
everything from it and just
the
make
basis of it.
We not use that
steps A through Z.
But here's the thing though, like with I look at a cult.
I just got that.
I look at a cult and I'm sitting there going, to me, the person in charge is profiting on something. Like there's something this person's winning out in the end. And as far as I know, this guy didn't get anything. It's not like he was living in the lap of luxury. You know what I mean? Like it's not like he was
I read something that someone was talking about it, and they didn't think that it was a cult, that it was just a regular religion.
yeah, fucked up
And-
one, but yeah.
And to your point, yeah, like most cults, someone is making money in some way, shape, or form
That's the only thing
to a
that,
degree.
yeah, that's the only thing that I think separates this from being a cult, although it feels so much like a cult. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, technically, it is still a cult.
yeah, I mean, people die. That's the thing. It's the extremism. They off themselves. But, like, at the same time, when a guy with a wick out of his sandal decides to blow himself up in a marketplace, he's doing it because he has that religious belief that he's doing something holy. You know what I mean? Like, it's not mass suicide. I'm sure they would get a lot more done with that way, but it's still suicide. So we don't look. I mean, do we look at that religion and say that's a cult? Because
But if you look at
I mean, they're all cults, if you ask me. But
okay, that's fair.
If you look at it also, wasn't there, obviously he had the main control
Sure.
about everything that happened inside this particular group.
Yeah.
well,
And-
after his partner died, yeah, he had
Yeah.
control over everything.
He had to
and then
rewrite their
decided-
Bibli.
and decided to rewrite something to make it even more his point, because apparently there was a spaceship behind a meteor.
And at the same time, in Los Angeles, didn't they also get one of those? Didn't he get a big mansion or something like that?
Well, they were renting it. They paid $7,000 a month, but
Where did they get that money?
they all did. The
saying.
community did. Like it wasn't just like they paid him and he took care of it.
They like pulled resources.
Yeah,
Some
like
shit.
it's amazing. It's like he's like, get rid of everything you have, sell your worldly possessions, but we have to make rent somehow. What were they doing? Were they selling beads on the side of the freeway? Like I don't know what the fuck. How'd they come up with? They did buy land. They did buy land in Arizona. They were going to build a temple there, and then it got cold. And he was like, "I'm old and I think I have cancer, so fuck it. Let's just kill ourselves."
Couldn't you say the same thing in this particular aspect? Because
Like big aspirations, not very good planning.
I don't remember. Again, you could sit there and tell me I'm wrong if there was. Charles Manson didn't receive anything. He wasn't like gaining money from them. He wasn't like he had followers.
That's what he was getting. He had
Same thing with this guy. He had a follower. He had following.
Yeah, but Charlie was also able to tell people, "Do this on my behalf," and they did it.
They were stealing
This
food for him.
motherfucker did too.
But they didn't do anything for him.
Charles Manson.
They
gained from his
killed
followers.
themselves for
Again,
him.
this
They
fucking
killed
thing.
themselves.
They
They didn't
do
go out and
anything
do it
else.
on his behalf. Like, that's our enemy. Fuck them up. Everything in that direction
no,
must die.
No, but what I'm saying, I understand. They didn't sit there and go out.
Dad's
and
doing
kill.
is I have to shit my dance.
Do you just want to go and shit?
Why don't you say your final piece and go shit?
Yeah.
Because then I got to open the garage door and it's going to make noise. Get me. How much fucking more can we talk about this lunatic?
Say your final piece and we'll finish the episode.
It's a load of horseshit. Okay. The guy took Catholicism, twisted it around because he had some vision in the middle of the night. The guy's a nutcase. Okay.
Not only him, Bonnie Nettles did too.
Bonnie Ray Tyler, whatever the fuck her name is.
No.
She's a lunatic too. Okay.
Bonnie Lou Nettles.
Yeah.
Lou, where's Ray coming from?
I don't know. I mean,
All right, now you can go.
none of this makes any sense.
Well, it actually makes a lot of sense. It's just not smart. It's
not
it's
for nothing.
stupid.
Not for nothing, but
Did you not pay the fucking bill? Why did the light just go out?
I don't know. That's been changing all night.
I saw it got
changed into
brighter. Before.
off.
I saw it got brighter before, and all of a sudden just killed over.
All right.
Maybe we should stop talking about Heaven's Gate.
No, okay. Do you want to go shit now?
No, wait. It passed.
The light changed. And he took
I'm
a
not
shit.
leaving this fucking booth unless somebody's walking with me.
I don't know, man. From what I'm getting with
Oh, no,
this.
I'm sitting here going like this. I'm moving chairs, moving around. Okay, for weeks on end, I can't get 2 words out of Joshua. All of a sudden tonight, he's Edward R. Murrow. I mean, please, can we just, come
Can you
on.
explain to our audience who that is?
Edward R. Murrow. Didn't you ever hear the Edward R. Murrow Award?
No.
No.
Oh, it was named after him.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
So are you blaming the fact that the night you have to take a shit is the night I actually talk?
Yes,
Josh, you said to make this quick, and I told you it was going to be a good fucking episode.
I'm backed up.
I warned you, bro. It was going to be like,
Okay.
wow, we've been here for an hour and a half.
We heard from you.
Yes.
And, what is your take on this?
I think this is absolutely insane. I think I don't know why they thought this shit. That's the thing. Like, they met each other.
Apple White. Look,
They met each other and like, we are this thing. And like,
reason-
why would you think that way?
the reason I have, and I understand this is your thing, but the reason I say is this has a complete cult mindset to it is because he's speaking to people who feel disenfranchised.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
Not
true.
for any cult, though, Joe.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why for me it is a down smack to the face, like just cult to its core, because when you speak to the disenfranchised and you get them to sit there. Now, granted, you can do that with religion. There are a lot of like when people say I've turned to God and I've found religion. You know, they were disenfranchised. Now they turn to God. You could sit there and say that. But I don't think there's, like I said, there's a fine line between cult and religion.
Mm-hmm.
And, excuse me, he took that other course.
I think that line, to me, the demarcation line is the idea of like the person in charge is knowingly manipulating and profiting off of his followers. And I don't see Apple White saying,
I
or
think it could be either or.
I don't think so. For me, I'm like, this man has to know that I am fucking these people over and they don't know it, and I'm smarter than they are.
And
This
the reason-
was Apple White's line.
Yeah,
the
like
reason why I say
he was in the trenches with them. He's like, I believe the same shit you guys believe. I'm just Jesus.
But here's the thing. The reason why I say he knew this, and granted, it might have never been sitting there like, oh, you know,
Sure.
he said it when Doe died.
and he
then
decided to rewrite
changed
everything.
Shit. When you sit there and say,
T.
the woman was Doe, wasn't it?
No, you're right.
the
Her name was
woman's
T.
T.
Yeah,
T,
he was
sorry.
Doe.
Guy's name is Doug.
Nettles.
Yeah, Nettles. When Nettles died and he changed shit, I mean, like, well, this is exactly what I mean. This didn't happen, and so
Yeah,
that's
it's not the body that goes to heaven. It's
exactly,
the consciousness.
When you sit there and change things, that's exactly like to me. It's like, well, you know, we have to sit there and change it now. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
that's a cult thing to me.
like there was speculation that he thought by the end of his life he was dying of cancer.
He did lose people for that.
So that to me is like, well, now he's making a conscious decision. Let's just kill ourselves. Like, where did this come from? Oh, it's because I think I have cancer. It's like, let me take everyone. I don't want to go alone. That I can understand, and I think that does push it more towards a cult. I think though, if you just go by I read most of their website, which is still active. All their writings, you have transcripts from their
Where the
videos.
fuck do I sign up?
I don't want to sign up. I want people to sign up and follow. I'm the fucking captain now. No, like I think when you look at the website, and if you were to like this, let me try this religion. It does come off very much as a religion, especially now because there's no one in charge.
Well, it's their website. They're not going to sit there and make it look like a cult.
No, I understand it, but like, there's no one to benefit from your belief in this, because you can sit there and go, you know what? I think aliens are fallen angels. Heaven is out there in the cosmos somewhere. I can believe in that. The idea of like an angel inhabiting my body and I can kind of like move towards that. I'm not saying me.
We have people who believe that we're under a firmament and the waters of heaven is above the firmament.
Oh yeah, they're fucking retards.
So
sorry,
damn it.
Cajuns. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. That's wrong. Bad Tony. But like that idea of just yeah, I could see someone getting behind that, like believing that heaven's out there somewhere. It's a real place, and the angel coming into your body thing and taking over. I'm like, that's a bit of a stretch for anyone, but yet people believe in it.
That sounds like that one sex game, Alien Invasion. Joshua, do you want to sit
That
there?
game sucked.
That game did suck. A lot.
Yeah.
Joshua,
Not sponsored, by the way.
do you have any last words on that?
Well, I could definitely say this was interesting. I was trying to find out as much as I can. I was seeing video clips on like YouTube and websites and stuff like that, and just it's kind of interesting the way people frame it, like from source to source. It's to me it was really interesting, and I was trying to get as much done as I could, but unfortunately work was kicking my ass.
I get you.
So I mean, it's just crazy because I feel like I can see this in actual religion, but not to the extreme.
I
Which
agree.
is why I say it's a very pencil thin line, and it almost can be the same exact thing.
Like, if they didn't have the suicide clause, I think this would be like something around today. You get a lot of people be like, no, Heaven's Gate is where I sit. Like, it's out there. Aliens, like, of course the Earth's not flat. Heaven's in the cosmos. It's like, oh God, now have to argue with that. It's like the extreme opposite of the flat earthers. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I agree to that point too. It's like one of these things where I'm looking at, especially with the way people fucking talk today.
Mm-hmm. The comments in our comment section.
Yeah, for TikTok people on, like, if Heaven's Gate was around today, I think they would have over 50,000 followers.
Let's restart it. Let's get rid of the suicide thing. It's not good for PR. But we can't prove it anyway,
No,
so fuck it.
No.
I would make it a profit thing. Everyone's got to pay their dues, $275 a month. See, that's the thing. He didn't make money. He was never accused of raping anybody or profiting sexually off of someone's body. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't gain anything. He was just as poor as everyone else. He just said that I'm Jesus because I founded it. Like, to me, that's not a cult. He's a religion. It was a religion, and they just had that really bad exit strategy.
It's a fucking cult. I'm not care for everybody.
So we're going to commit suicide because the UFO is behind the Hale-Bopp Comet. You know what? I'll get the next bus out of here. I don't have to wait for the... There's another comet in like 70 years, right? I'll just hook on that one.
But next week...
They were smooth-brained.
Good plug. Next
Get
week,
yours.
Dad, it's going to be probably your favorite episode ever. Because next week, we talk about St. Malachi and the prophecies of the Pope.
Okay.
And this jackass over here...
I'm the Pope. I know
said
this shit.
He vowed to speak the entire episode in the Pope voice.
I know this is shit. These are my family I'm talking about.
The Pope is coming, not Anthony.
I'm going to wear my hat just to make sure everyone knows that I'm the Pope.
Let me ask you a question. How many more episodes to this season?
We have St. Malachi, Jim Jones, and the Book of Revelation.
Oh,
Okay.
No, we have a couple more. It's just, there's a couple more. This is not the full list over here.
Oh, word?
Yeah, no, hold on.
I'm going to be in and out of a few of them because,
of course. Yeah, I know. We have.
No, obviously, yes, I get that.
Well, I just want the listeners to know because they'll miss me. They don't miss you, motherfuckers.
I thought the Book of Revelation was our season finale.
No. Remember, we have St. Malachi.
Mm-hmm.
We have Joseph Smith.
Oh, the Book of Mormon.
We have Jim Jones.
Uh-huh.
We have the Westboro Baptist Church.
I don't think we should be picking on Hollywood.
We have Padre Pio.
Oh, Padre Pio, my hero.
We have the Book of Revelations.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Scientology.
Oh, sweet.
So wait a minute. How does Padre Pio fit? He's not a cult, and he's not.
He predicted. Padre Pio. There's predictions for Padre Pio.
Padre Pio made predictions. Yeah, this is news.
I didn't think
Joey.
he did.
See, I came up with the schedule originally, and then Joey reformatted and tacked a couple on. So that's one of the ones that.
I mean, I'll talk about Padre Pio all night. He was
They made
the
a movie.
patron saint of The Exorcist, and
They just made a movie starring Shia LaBeouf as Padre Pio.
it's worthy of a watch, I'd imagine.
I don't know about that, but like,
Saint Padre Pio's prophecy of the end of the world.
oh, so it's
one
just like
prophecy.
one prophecy.
I mean,
No, he had 3 prophecies.
Oh, so it's
Three.
like
Oh,
so
there's
maybe
a
we
leader.
could talk about that. And we could also talk about the prophecies of Fatima. Do a couple double
Yes,
double
I mean,
episodes.
Yes, because
It's-
Anthony and I are definitely going to go at each other's head for that
Psalm
one.
91, whatever the fuck. It's 12. Are we in the end? 12 prophetic messages from Saint Padre Pio.
So okay, so 12 messages.
There's messages.
All right,
So
so
Padre
good.
Pio
We'll
is,
talk
is
about that.
a prophet.
Cool.
So yes. So
Gotta update the board there, homie.
well, yeah, I know this is a while ago. So yeah, so everybody good for this episode. Heaven's Gate called fucking weirdos who think aliens are Luciferians.
Creative message, bad PR.
You know what?
Really fumbled the ball at the 1 yard line on this one, buddy.
Is Luciferians trademarked or copyrighted? I'm just curious.
You can look that up and put it on t-shirts.
Yeah.
Probably in this day of age now. Fucking
Imagine
people are-
like one guy, like they started taking the pills and the nap and the applesauce and everyone's dying, but one guy just like laid down, take a nap, and he woke up like, "Hey guys, how's it?" Oh, fuck! Why is this towel on my face?
I know.
Oh shit!
End the fucking episode, please.
Yeah.
Fuck! Is there any pudding left? No one's answering my
So
questions.
next week we have the Saint Malachi episode.
Yes.
Which is going to be fun of the prophecies of the Pope. Because it's a religious episode. We all know how we love talking about religion in this place. But yes, we have actually like 6 or 7 more episodes this season.
Okay.
Remember, we're going to 15 episodes per season now. So that's why it's
Copy
a little
that.
longer. But remember, everybody. So everybody's good in the booth. We have nothing to talk about.
Good in the booth.
Good.
Dad's got a shit.
Everybody remember to go check out all of our social medias. You hear them at the end of the episode now, and we're not going to say them during the episode. And remember to go purchase shit on greenhourmedia.org. Go buy your t-shirts, your Smooth Brain t-shirts, your Is This Real t-shirts. Go get them all, yes?
And coming quickly, you're going to be with the company. Will be going to one of these. You'll be able to meet us and stuff at one of these shows, correct?
Yes, that's
we're
happening.
And
It's
we
gonna
should actually have
happen
the date for the next week. We should already know what date it's going to be.
Next week's episode, we're going to have the date of the fair or festival, if you want to call it, which we're going to be
That's right.
at, asking people stuff. And
If you're in Jersey, come hang out with us.
it's going to be
a very
a
nice
Jersey
day.
fair, yeah. Probably during the spring or during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, go to any of our social medias. You're going to hear this. Please go follow our Discord. It's a new thing. We have about 10 people in the Discord right now. You could speak to any one of us.
Yeah, you can talk to me personally. Pick my
except
brain.
For Big Joe, he doesn't have a Discord.
He doesn't
No, I
understand.
get left out. I got a shit and I got left.
You have
left
no
out.
idea how to fuck. You don't even know what Discord is.
Yeah.
Discord is when you open your mouth. Now. Okay? Because nothing but shit comes out of it anyway.
You know he's not
So-
wrong.
All right.
He's not wrong.
So we'll catch everybody next week. Everybody say good night.
Good night.
Adios, motherfuckers.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Remember, everybody, question everything. Good night. Hey everybody, it's JC3, and I just want to say thank you for listening to all of our shows. If you want to keep up to date with everything Is This Real or Green Hour Media, go to our social media accounts. At Is This Real PC for TikTok, at Green Hour Media for YouTube, Is This Real Podcast for Facebook, and at Is This Real Podcast, all one word, for Instagram. You will be able to keep up with everything Is This Real or Green Hour Media.